Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Ellie Stein, and this video is titled On Crutches in Paradise. As I mentioned in last week's video, I am in Ecuador. I'm overlooking the Pacific Ocean, where I'm staying is overlooking the Pacific Ocean. I'm near the equator, which means the temperature is a steady 30 to 32 degrees every day. There's a gentle ocean breeze. Okay, maybe sometimes not so gentle. The water temperature is 27 degrees day and night. That's 82 Fahrenheit. And there are no cold plunges here. I go swimming every day and I watch squadrons of pelicans fly by. But all is not perfect in paradise. Some of you know that I have many health problems, not just the ME/CFS from which I am mostly recovered. I'm also hypermobile. That was one of my risk factors for getting sick in the first place. And my hypermobility has led to a lifelong history of musculoskeletal issues. And for some of those issues, I have sought surgical solutions, feeling that it would extend my ability to be active. Sadly, the last solution I sought, which was foot surgery about 3 years ago, may have backfired. I find myself on crutches, looking enviously at people who are walking barefoot on the beach, not seeming to give it a second thought. So emotionally, how am I doing? Well, after recovering from the news from my doctor on Friday that I have to stay off the foot for 4 to 6 weeks to give it a chance to heal, pretty much the duration of my time in Ecuador, and knowing that even if it heals now, that doesn't solve the underlying cause for which there may or may not be a long-term solution. My next thoughts turn to, okay, Ellie, you teach people how to deal with mental and physical adversity. What have you learned and what can you apply to your own situation? So I'm going to share some of the things I'm working on right now, and I'm not going to pretend I apply them perfectly in every moment. Number one, focus on what I can do instead of what I can't do. This is a critical lesson that I learned from some of the patients I've worked with over the years who were severely ill. Some of them blew me away with their capacity in the face of what looked really, really difficult to find small things they could focus on and do and enjoy. So I'm thinking, okay, there's a lot of things that I cannot do right now, basically anything that involves walking, but there's still many things I can do. I can enjoy the weather. I can enjoy the company of the other people living at the complex where I'm staying. I can enjoy the friendliness and generosity of the Ecuadorian people. I can watch the birds, frigate birds, something I've never seen in my life, flying overhead, and I can go in the water. Second tool I'm pulling out of my toolbox, again, a very challenging one, is not to future cast. Future cast means assume that I know what the future has to bring. If I future cast using my medical knowledge, I of course fear the worst because I know what the problems are and I know what the MRI shows. And I know the underlying causes of the problem, and I'm not sure it can be fixed. But did you hear that? Not sure. That's the moment of uncertainty. That is the blessing. It's like Byron Katie says, do you know for sure that this is going to happen? And if the answer is no, it's an opening, right? I can exhale and say, for most of the 27 years of being moderately affected by ME, I had no idea I would ever get better. I only know that now in retrospect. And luckily for me, it's been almost 8 years since I've had very significant recovery. And even in the midst of the stress of my current situation, I continue to feel great. My sleep is refreshing. I have enough energy, mental and physical, to get me through the day with ease. So I have a lot to be grateful for. And even though I have grave reservations about whether my musculoskeletal issue can be fixed, it's possible, right? New things are being discovered every day, and I just don't know what lies ahead. So I'm much better off to maintain an open mind, to maintain hope, and believe that a solution is possible. Number three, keep a positive mindset, closely related to number two. I recently listened to a podcast, which I would recommend to all of you. It's on the Huberman Lab podcast, and it's with Dr. Ellen Langer. And it was in this uh, month, I believe, February of 2025, if anybody's looking for it. Dr. Ellen Langer is really the pioneer of the whole field of mindset. She constructed and ran and published dozens of incredible studies that prove, to my satisfaction, that how we think about our situation directly affects our mental and physical health. It affects it through a whole bunch of mechanisms: neuroplasticity, epigenetics, even the microbiome, perhaps. It acts on hormones, neurotransmitters, neuropeptides, the whole gamut. Basically, anything that the brain has a say in is directly impacted by mindset. I've followed Dr. Langer's work now for a few years. I've read her most recent book. I've talked about some of her work in previous videos. And now I got to put the pedal to the metal. Is that how the saying goes? And am I going to believe it? So I choose every single day. I want to be in a positive mindset. I am in a positive mindset where I know that change is possible. I know that things are possible that I can't conceive of or understand. My limited knowledge does not narrow the possibilities that the universe holds. So basically, the mindset I'm working on is to assume that there's a solution out there for me, even though I have no idea yet what it might be. And then number four, and my final tool that I'm working on right now, is to remember what I teach all of you in my neuroplasticity courses and videos. I have a choice in every moment what I focus on. I can focus on the discomfort in my foot. It's always there. It's always an option. I choose not to. I'm choosing to focus on so many of those things that I've mentioned: the warmth, the breeze, all of the things I have to be grateful for in my life, all of the people that are helping me, the feel of being in the water, which is still available to me. Every time I focus on the positive things that I'm grateful for, and I use the half smile, my mood improves, and I forget or am less aware momentarily of my discomfort and my limitations. Lastly, I've thought very carefully about whether I want to share this information, and I've decided to share it because I'm only a credible source of information if you know that I go through many of the same challenges as you, that you know that my life is not perfect, that you know that when I go through challenges, I don't stay in the positive every single second. I have all the same proclivities as all of you, that I may lose hope at times. I may fall into a negative mindset at times. I may be angry. I may be sad. I may be scared. That is the reality. And at the same time as all that's going on, I am absolutely not going to give up. My health and my mobility are too important to me to not practice all of the tools and strategies that I've learned over the decades. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for your support, and I welcome suggestions.